Hi, this is Dr. Toby, your host on health and wellness. Thank you for joining us on our show today. We have a special guest, two guests, a man and his wife, Dr. and Mrs. Mobid. Dr. Mobid is a radiation oncology technician. He works in the physicists department in the University of Mississippi Medical Center, trained in Cambridge, trained in Canada, and now working in University of Mississippi. Started the first radiation oncology center in the country of Cameroon. His wife is a teacher in the biological sciences, and she has molded many people in the medical sciences. She's also obtaining her doctorate in the next few years in education. This is an awesome couple. They are parents of 3 children. They are Christians. They are scientists. They are physicians in paramedical fields, and they are working hard to establish the kingdom of God and the glory of God in the medical community. We are delighted to have Dr. and Mrs. Mobid with us today. Look forward to hearing from them. Join us. Jesus is Lord. So we can take the water down. Thank you. Yeah. This is Dr. Toby. Thank you so much for joining us. What a delight, what a pleasure to have you on our show. We've been talking to the Mobids. The Mobids are a delightsome couple, Christian family, husband, wife for 23 years, parents of 3 lovely children, ministers of the gospel, radiation oncologist at the University of Mississippi Medical Center, and a teacher in the Jackson Public School System. And we're so delighted that they've come to join us. They've transitioned from Cameroon all the way to the United States of America. They've been sharing their experience. Now we're going to go back home a little bit, and Dr. Mobid is going to tell us a bit about some of the experiences he's had trying to establish the first radiation oncology or radiation physicists program. I'm not sure if it was a radiation oncology or radiation therapy or radiation physicist program in the Cameroon. Tell us your experience. Was that the first in the whole country or just the northern part?
Well, it is the first in the whole country of Cameroon, but it's a modern radiation oncology service.
Okay.
So it's designed just like here in the United States. And so, because what was happening in Cameroon was that they were using very old equipment
Equipment.
to treat cancer patients.
Let me ask,
So
what inspired you to do that? Most people come to America and they don't remember their background, their origin, their roots. What motivated you to give back?
I would say my motivation was helping mankind. I think when we come from Africa or from Cameroon, we come to the United States, the way things are available, we have to think about Africans in Africa deserve good health care, just
Right.
like they're human beings, just like anybody else.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that they're in a situation that they cannot control, but um, and so for me that was a motivation. Can I create something that come close to the United States at a cost to them that they can afford
I can
of very very
afford.
high quality? So
Hmm.
for me, quality was very very
Very
important.
important.
Yes, yes.
So tell us how you went about it so that somebody
Um,
listening might even sponsor your next project. You never know.
yes. So as I indicated before, there was no. They were using very old technology that really didn't do much for the patient. So what I designed was a program that was based on the modern linear accelerator,
Mm.
and so we actually went and we built a facility. Actually, me and my wife we moved to Cameroon for close to 4 years,
Wow.
and we build this facility. We've built this facility, and we purchased a linear accelerator. We install it there. We train people, and right now we are treating people. I mean, there are people in Cameroon that are, I would say, are alive today because we existed.
How did you buy a? Because I heard a linear accelerator is at least millions of dollars.
Yes, in fact, all my savings, all our saving went into this project. It's been quite expensive for us, but it's something that we really wanted to do, which is to build a modern oncology center where patients can get care that is at the same standard as anywhere in the world. And we are actually quite close to that. So yeah, financially we are.
How much is a
Down.
linear accelerator for my audience?
A linear
Average
accelerator,
price.
I would say a brand new linear accelerator, like the one that we have, is about 1.5 to $2 million. So it's quite expensive. And then you have the accessory that you need in order to treat patient. So that will come in at another about 200,000. So you are taking, and then the bunker, the radiation, we're talking about radiation, you have to limit the radiation outside of the room. So the bunkers that you need to put the also cost about $1 million to build that. So
Where did you put this facility?
the facilities in Douala, which is the major
Economic.
economic capital of Cameroon, it's a major town in the Central African sub-region.
So the University of Douala.
No, it's not. It's an independent.
Okay.
It's an independent facility.
You
It's not a
purposely
town.
didn't put it in the University of Douala.
No. We didn't put it in the university. Yes, actually, it's a brand new. Actually, when in fact I had an Italian medical director who was the first. He told me that it's a bunker, le bunker dans la forêt. That's a bunker in the forest. That's it's a radiation bunker in the forest because it was actually in the middle of, almost like the middle of the forest. But we are just about 30 miles from the city center of Douala.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the center is there. We have radiation oncologists, we have physicists, but it was modeled in such a way that I have experts here in the United States. So I have radiation oncologists and physicists, dosimetries that work with our counterpart in Cameroon, and we deliver care that's comparable to the U.S. in certain categories of patient like prostate, patient breast, the plans. We try to, I mean, when we review the plans, just like we are reviewing a patient that's been treated here in the United States. And then the patients pay, sometimes they pay nothing, sometimes we have to almost pay the patient to get treatment. Some patients do pay higher as well, but it's, the center is designed to be revenue neutral.
Wow.
So we are not trying to make money, but at the other time,
Because
there
in
are
the,
costs.
in the U.S., you cannot have a linear accelerator outside a hospital.
No, you can.
But
They're
I don't-
independent.
in
they're
America?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
in Mississippi. I don't know. If they have.
No, even in
The ones in
Mississippi.
Mississippi are mostly tied to hospitals, like VA, Baptist.
Yes,
St.
but you can
Dominic.
have, so far as you have your CON, certificate of
Okay.
need, you can build it
You can do
anywhere.
it.
You
Oh,
can
yeah,
do it
okay.
anywhere. But it makes sense to be attached because the patient, you might have inpatient that need radiation.
Right.
So it's better to be, even if it's independently located, it has to be nearer to
Close.
a major hospital
Wow.
so that it can transport patients back and forth.
So
And
you purposely.
you asked about motivation.
Right.
Another thing, just from hearing him talk, another thing that motivated him, when we were in Canada, when we were in the U.S., we've had wealthy Cameroonians who have cancer come to get treatment from his hospital, starting from Calgary to Detroit,
yes.
Detroit Medical
Wow.
Center,
Yes.
and they would pay like $40,000-$50,000.
Yeah, for
And-
radiation treatment.
And my husband was like, okay, so how will an average Cameroonian afford this in order to get this kind of service? How will an average Cameroonian afford this kind of money
Yes.
Wow.
in order to get this kind of service? So that's when he started thinking, maybe I have to give back to my community. I have to go back home and make something that will also benefit my people.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. They deserve, as I say.
So the other facility that was existent but had that had old equipment, was that in Yaoundé?
Yaoundé and Douala,
Yaoundé and
they
Douala.
have
Okay.
one each. But
The one in Yaoundé actually
closed.
because
The
they
one
couldn't
in-
manage it.
Yeah, the one in Douala is still operating at a very, very limited capacity. And really they cannot, when it comes about modern oncology, that just
Right.
it's just impossible for them
Wow,
to practice
wow.
it.
That's an awesome task you took upon
Yes.
yourself. So, madam, you went with him for 4 years to pursue his dream. That is a commendable sacrifice. I'm sure you were you working in Cameroon or were you doing something?
Well, yes. When he left,
I left
and
first.
he left
Okay.
first, and I was like, okay, I cannot leave my husband to be suffering there without, because I know my husband. I know without me, it's going to be difficult for him to function. I know he will function, but I know how he's going to suffer. And I'm like, I just told him, I said, guess what? The children and I will come. He's like, what are we going to do? But the thing is that I always say that when you have a plan and you pray to God,
Right.
God will always lead you. God will always guide you. When I went, I was a government teacher making very...
In Douala.
Yes, I was a government teacher when I left from Cameroon. I said, when I go back, I can just decide and reapply to join the government. And the salary is like peanuts.
Yeah.
That was my plan. But like I say, God, when you have a good plan that is going to help people, God is always guiding you.
Right.
I went and the first thing I went to the American School of Douala, which is like a U.S. funded school.
Yes.
That
State
is
Department, I think.
U.S. State Department funded school
For
that is
diplomats, kids.
for
Yes,
kids of diplomats and this one. I got a job there.
Oh, wow.
I got a job there, and I was paid with my my U.S. teacher's
wow.
certification. Very high income.
How did your kids, did they go to that school too? or-
Somewhat well.
One-
Of because my packet came with one child. Because
Wow,
the
that's
school fee was
awesome.
quite
Of
expensive, like
course.
$16,000.
Yeah.
The school
More
fee
than
was-
Mississippi.
Yeah, the school fee is like $16,000
A year.
So,
or-
Yeah,
a year. So one child came.
Wow,
Yes,
wow, that's
yes.
awesome.
The other child-
And it also helped the kids get to know
No,
their
absolutely.
local community.
In fact, that is actually one of the benefits because our children, now they understand. My daughter now is trying to grow up and make a charity that is going to raise funds to go back and help
Wow.
the villagers provide water.
Yes.
Because they
Wow.
went to the village, they had to even learn how to go and fetch water
Water,
from the stream.
Yes.
You
that's
know,
My
right.
goodness.
so now they have that exposure, and now they can know how to make plans to go and help and give it
Did
back home.
you put your job in UMC on like
Actually,
temporary?
I actually quit. I mean, people thought that I was crazy.
wow.
I actually quit my job
Wow.
and went there. But because I did very well, and so when I came back,
Wow.
they took me.
And you obviously put your house on the market, or you
Yeah.
left
Yes,
it
Yeah.
open.
we sold our
Wow,
house.
wow.
But
So
we still kept, we've always kept our house in Michigan and Canada. We still
Really?
keep those houses.
Rented them out.
Yeah, yes.
Wow. And of course, you bought a house or you rented a house in Douala.
No, we just rented, but we have a house in
Rented, But we
Yaoundé.
have a house in
Okay.
Yaoundé.
Nice, nice. Wow. The best part is the children got a little cultural assimilation
Yeah,
to
they
their
did.
roots.
And now, another thing that the children learned is they learn not to waste.
Okay.
Because they found out that there is just so much here.
There's
So
much
when they
there,
went
right.
back home, all these juices that they will open and throw without finishing, or open a bottle of a can of Sprite or soda and drink a little bit and abandon. When they went back home, they said they didn't have all of this because all these things they're not as common as they are here.
Yeah,
So
and-
now they're
and they saw
able to
people's-
manage. Yes,
They saw people suffering.
they saw people
So
suffering.
some of our viewers are Cameroonians. We have a few Cameroonians in the Grambling University.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
my question is, if somebody wants to get their relative to your center, that's my question. Is it up and running? Is it functional? What is the protocol? How do they afford the payment? What do you recommend? Just give us a little laid background. Yeah.
No, the
Layman
center
background.
the center is functional. It's open,
100% functional.
it's open 24 hours. As I say, we operate a telemedicine model. So when they go there, they will see there are 3 specialists. We have a radiation oncologist. We have 2 radiation oncologists. We have a medical oncologist. We have a radiologist. And they will have several generalists. So they are there on site. So they will be received by them. They will be consulted. Then they will build a medical file. Then that medical file will now be sent to the US team.
Oh,
Then we
wow.
review it here. They will already, with that medical file, they will already come out with some recommendation. So this patient will need chemo radiation. We need just chemo. This. We will review it here by experts here. These are all professors as well. And then we say, okay, we concur, or we think this patient should be treated this way. and then we communicate with them, and then we agree on how the patient, because sometimes we do not see the patients, or the physicians here don't see the patient
course.
directly. So the people, they know some issues that we don't know. They know some social facts that we do not know,
Right.
or maybe we learn later.
But sometimes the physicians here also talk.
Yes.
Like they call the patients and talk to them,
Yes.
especially when they.
So my limited knowledge of radiation is
Yes.
it's typically Monday to Friday for
Yes.
maybe a month. 3
no,
weeks.
Depends
no,
on the
it
cancer.
depends. It depends.
So breast cancer, 3 weeks.
Breast cancer usually, if we go with the standard protocol, which is 50 gray, is going to be 25 days of treatment, which will be 5 weeks. And then you have a boost, which is another week. So you're talking about 6 weeks of treatment.
So you know what I'm asking? How does somebody come from abroad or from outside Douala?
Yes.
Will they be staying in a hotel?
And in fact, that is really
That's a
the
good
major problem that we face.
That's
No,
going
because
to
we
be other
treat with-
challenges. That
We
was
treat
going to
patients. We've treated patients that have come from Nigeria for treatment,
Wow.
Congo,
Chad? Okay.
Chad,
Wow.
Central African Republic, Gabon,
Wow.
Zaire, and so the issue that they are facing is where to
Stay.
where to stay. The hotel is about $10 per day.
$10.
Per day if you stay in a hotel. So imagine somebody's there for 7 weeks. The
Yeah.
cost is even more than the cost of their treatment. Stay in a
Don't say
hotel.
that in public. But I didn't,
So,
so you don't charge them the American.
no. They will not
Okay.
be able. I mean,
Where will they get the money
where
from
will
to
they get
pay?
the money to pay? That's why I say it's a revenue neutral.
Neutral. Wow.
Revenue. So somebody can get, let's say, prostate here. A prostate patient on the latest protocol will. I mean, when you look at the charges, they come out to over $80,000.
How many weeks is prostate?
Prostate is usually, if you go with the standard protocol, which is 38 to 40 fractions, that will be 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Yes, at minimum. But there are some other protocol that are about 7 weeks.
Wow.
So it just depends. And so one of the things we are trying to do now is to raise funds to build a hostel for the patient.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the projects that we're doing. So if you have some of your viewers who are
yeah.
able to help us build this hostel, that would be good.
So you work with some Italians?
Yeah, no, we just recruit them. They are not. They
Okay.
do not have any ownership.
So they are radiation oncologists?
Actually, it's a medical oncologist.
Medical oncologist.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So we have a medical oncologist there. Yeah.
And your partners in the U.S. are like colleagues, people
Colleague,
you
yeah.
work
These
with?
are colleagues that I've worked. I have a partner from the University of Kentucky.
Okay.
I also have a partner from the University of Ohio.
That's awesome.
So we work as
You
a team.
deserve a national award. I mean, what you've done is groundbreaking.
Yeah,
It might be the first in Africa.
Yeah. So
And
yeah.
I'm serious. For
And they publish articles. We need to
Yeah.
send those
Yeah.
articles.
Yeah,
we
They've been
have-
publishing.
In fact, in the last 3-4 months, we've published about 5 articles talking about the model.
talking about that model.
Yeah, the telemedicine,
telemedicine model.
But we are also looking at things, for instance, how much does it cost? What is the real cost for the treatment that these patients are getting?
Right.
And what is the cost in Ghana or even in Nigeria compared to
Right.
what they are getting as well? So we are looking at pathology. How many patients actually come there with pathology report, which you need in order to treat their cancer?
And what I like about your model is that you are being the solution,
Yes.
not the problem. Because many people just stand up and criticize, and they don't ever be part of the solution.
You have to be part
You are part of the solution, in
Yeah.
spite of what you may call bad administration
Yeah,
and
yeah.
negligible government,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you've decided to be. Have you heard people tell you that it's a waste of your money? You're throwing money down the
Oh,
drain.
so many.
Yeah.
So many.
Do you know what the exchange rate is?
yeah.
What you could have done with that money in
Yes,
America?
I say it myself.
Yes.
Sometimes when the challenges are too many,
Yes.
I just start blaming you.
Yes.
I'm like, you are the cause of this. My
Yes.
children are suffering
Yes.
because of you. It's this and this.
But I think it's also important that you have to be passionate about it.
Right.
For instance, the work. I mean, sometimes I work to 2 a.m.
Ah.
Okay, if I did not have passion for what I'm doing and believe in what I'm doing, and
Right.
even the people in Cameroon do not know, even the patients do not know to what great
The
extent,
extent.
the extent to which
Yeah.
time
The
it's been invested.
sacrifice,
Yes,
right.
the sacrifice for their care. For instance, we might do a treatment plan, and it's approved by the team, and then I suddenly found out something that I
It's
thought
not
was
right.
important.
Right.
I might stop that. Maybe I might revise the plan, then inform the other group in the morning that this is what I did. And then when you do that, people do not understand. They really do not. That it takes radiation oncology. It's a challenging field to manage, even in the United States.
So let's talk a bit about Mississippi, because Mississippi is actually one of the poorest states in America, just
Yeah.
like Cameroon and Nigeria and Africa. When you work at the University of Mississippi, do people come from the Delta? Do they have a radiation center in Greenville?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so
They
my
have-
question
they-
is,
they-
why
they-
do they come from the Delta if there's one in Greenville?
Okay, but they do not have all. The University of Mississippi is the whole academic center in the
Okay.
state. So there are certain things that we will do that the other centers will not be able to, cannot do. They do not have
Okay.
the manpower to do it, or it's just too expensive.
So radiation oncology has one there's one center in Greenville, there's one in Hattiesburg.
There's one in Harrisburg. Actually, the one in Harrisburg, actually, they treat more patients even than the university.
Oh, okay.
But there are certain things that they cannot do that we do. For instance, we have the gamma knife.
Right.
We have a new program we just started for treating breast cancer called interoperative. So we're in the operating room.
With the
Treat
surgeon.
with the surgeon. Actually,
Okay.
as soon as the surgeon open up, we will treat the cancer.
Wow.
We'll open out, expose the tumor board, and they treat the cancer. So there's so many things that we do. Something like brachytherapy,
Right.
where they implant radiation sources into the cervix to treat. We do it if the cancer has spread. We are equipped and capable of implanting needles into the cervix and treating it. So it's far more advanced than the basic stuff can be done anywhere. There are
Right.
some advanced stuff that.
What are the challenges in Mississippi? My patient told me that they wouldn't do her radiation oncology because her radiation therapy because she's above 450 pounds.
Yes. That
Why
is
is
true.
that a problem?
Because the treatment coach, they have to lie on a couch, and there's this machine that rotates around them. So that machine, the capacity is 300. So once you're above 300,
Because it's an European-made machine, right?
No, it's not
Europeans are not that big. They don't realize that Americans
It's
are.
true. Yeah.
as usual, we tell them to go and lose some weight to get on. Because if they climb on, they will not be able to use it. Because no, it's not rotating. The coach will actually collapse.
Oh,
It'll
my
be above the
goodness.
weight limit.
Then they
So they
should,
told her to
they-
go and lose weight. I'm like, well, you have cancer.
Yes. Yeah. That is true. Yeah, they will not be able. I mean, yeah. If you're above, I think the limit is 350.
Right.
Yeah, if you're above 350, then they will not be able to treat.
Wow.
So that's the challenge. Just like here in Mississippi, one of the challenges, the patient comes from, let's say, I would just say even Cleveland. Coming to Mississippi is quite an hour drive
To Jackson.
Coming to Jackson.
and you have to come every day and then let's say you have work, how are you going to do it?
Of course.
So it's very, very challenging. Then just imagine Cameroon and there's a patient coming from another country, or there's a
Right.
patient coming from the northwest
Yes.
to Douala. So they really need something, and actually here the American Cancer Society provides some services.
The Hope Lodge.
Yeah, the Hope Lodge and all of
Lodge
these
for
two.
patients.
Yes. So that's actually what we're trying to establish in Cameroon. It's something like a Hope Lodge where the patient can come for
And
6 or
my
7 weeks.
viewers, I mean, we have millionaires who. Are you a 501c or because in America, if you're a 501c, it's kind of easier to get funding. But
Okay.
again, obviously, you can tell us this group you have. What is the nucleus of it? Is it an American registered corporation or is it a Cameroonian registered?
Well, the buying of the equipment is an American registered company,
Okay.
but we've not registered the charity.
Of course.
So all of these people are working on charity, but there's no charity
Of
actually
course.
attached to it. So
Right.
we're in the process of
Process of
registering
making that happen.
as a
Yeah.
as a charity.
So anything you can do to support this vision. My uncle, for example, I'm going to tell him afterwards, is just been diagnosed with prostate cancer and he can't get into the University of Lagos. He's been waiting to get in for treatment.
Okay.
So now you told me about this, I'm going to reach out to him and you and see how we can.
Yeah.
Facilitate
we
his
can
travels.
treat him in Cameroon. And in fact,
You know.
we'll generate a plan and we'll give you the option of even having the plan review anywhere in the
Anywhere
world.
in the world.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I can look at if you bring me a plan, I will look at the plan because we follow some protocol, RTOG. So there's a certain volume of let's say the rectum that will allow to get a
Right.
certain level of radiation. So all of these things are very, very standard stuff. So this, yeah, if the patient comes for process is easy for us to treat.
He's 82 though.
Yeah, no,
So
but it
that's
doesn't.
my question. Do
No,
you
no.
guys have an age limit for this?
Not really.
Not really?
Yeah,
Okay.
for radiation, yeah, they might decide to maybe less aggressive. But usually we treat some of 82. Yeah, I mean this
Okay.
patient will not be a candidate for surgery, but will be.
So you were telling us about some of the challenges
Yes.
starting this organization. So you had to face the family front, the
Yeah.
economic front.
Yeah.
So this is talking about Madame.
Yeah.
How about maritally? Was it challenging as well?
Of course.
Very, very challenging.
Challenge.
Oh,
I mean, I
really?
was living in one. I mean, for about almost 9 months. She was here. I was in Cameroon, and then when she came to Cameroon, even for about 6 months, I came back here to do some consulting to make some money.
Oh wow.
Because we were out of money.
Money, we're out of money,
So
so I had
he
to
came
come.
and he was a consultant.
That's when I
so
was
came-
working in
Maine.
Maine. I was trying to make some.
The dollar.
I was trying to
dollar.
get the dollar.
The
So
CFA, the CFA wasn't enough. Is this CFA they have in Cameroon?
yeah.
CFA.
The CFA. You needed some dollars.
Yeah, so it was even with the kids. That's why I say if your marriage is not strong, if our marriage was not strong, there's no way we would have survived.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
It's all about
absolutely.
love.
Did you get some of the Cameroonians to support you financially in America?
They,
I mean, was it just talk?
No,
Nobody
people
really
talk,
put money on it.
Even in Cameroon, you say you are putting radiation. You say radiation. What is radiation?
What are you
The
doing?
bank does not even understand what people are running away. They see radiation. No, they say, no, man.
They
You are
think
trying
of
to fool
nuclear,
them. Yeah.
nuclear bomb.
So
Wow.
even sometimes even the government official, they don't understand what you're trying to
Of
do.
course,
I mean,
of
some of them
course.
do understand the benefit and stuff, but it's as I say here. If you look at maybe 15 years ago, most of the VA centers has collaboration with the university. Where the university, even us at UMC, we were actually treating patients at the VA,
Yeah.
and sometimes they transfer all the patients to UMC because managing a radiation oncology program is very challenging. The machine itself is like a baby. You have to
Right.
really take care of
Take
it.
care of it.
that's a big challenge. He needs
Yes,
to talk
yeah.
about those challenges.
Yeah, so the challenge, you have challenges of electricity. This machine don't want to be power off.
Okay.
So we have to have a UPS and a switch that will change when once the power goes down, the generator, the
And
generator,
air
automatic-
conditioner.
yeah, air condition, even dehumidifier.
Wow.
I mean, all of these, the machine has to be in perfect operating condition.
Wow. We've been talking to the Mobids. This is enlightening. This is pace setting. This is trailblazing. This is pioneering. Their work in Cameroon. Millions have been affected for eternity. And only heaven will report those who have truly benefited on this side of eternity. Join us next time. Jesus is Lord. Amen. All right.